What do you think about Apple these days? I have a riff on, so here's my take. Apple iPhone is going to be extinct in the next 20 years. I
Really?
think, yep. Apple iPhone is, here's why the Apple iPhone is not going to exist in 20 years. Well, simply put, um, it's clear that a founder-led business where the founder sticks around is going to be a durable business. And what I mean by that is if you look at all of the big tech companies where the founder remains involved, those companies are still crushing it. I will not, I will list them out for you, but you have Facebook, well, Meta, Apple, Netflix, Google, Tesla, SpaceX, whatever, all of Elon's companies. Elon's still involved in all his companies. Bezos is still on the board of Amazon, even though he's becoming
Hmm.
less involved in selling shares. And you will start to see Amazon slowly lose grip too, as Bezos becomes less involved. Um,
Hmm.
you have Google, where Sergey and Larry are still like in the thick of it now. Like I'm pretty sure Sergey literally works in Google's AI division, building LLMs and next generation AI capabilities. And Google is crushing it on the AI model front. You have, and then that brings, and then Meta, Zuck is obviously still crushing it with Meta, launching new products. And I think I could give you my take on the Meta Ray-Bans, but I think the Meta Ray-Bans, those glasses that nobody
I,
talks about anymore,
I
I
kind of
think those
want
are going
those.
to be gigantic soon. And I'll give
Really?
you my take on that. But basically, Apple is the one where the founder is dead. Steve died. And I think Apple is slowly starting to eat its own tail and start to become irrelevant because they're not really innovating anymore. Siri
Hmm.
sucks. All of the AI capabilities right now that exist are so awesome, but Apple has failed to ship anything that's actually useful in iOS. And so uh, their latest product release was a big deal, but it was the iPhone 16 SE, just like a cheaper iPhone. Like the SE models, you know how they're just like a cheaper iPhone. They just have like a slightly lower quality camera, a little less memory, a little weaker computer in there. Well, that was their big product release. It was just something they've already done before. Um, I think they're a company now that's sort of slowly going to become a legacy company, and then eventually people will move away from it. I think, and here's the big prediction now. I think
Hmm.
the big AI players are going to launch their own smartphones. Think about it. Tesla, XAI, maybe only XAI, maybe not Tesla, but XAI, OpenAI, Meta. I think these companies might actually start launching smartphones.
Why?
And I'm not sure if they're going to do it on Android or if they're going to try to like build their own OS. My guess is they'll probably use Android, and Android will be the OS of the future. And the reason for this is simple. All of these companies are so heavily indexed on AI, but their limit AI's ability to be useful to people is limited by the hardware that it runs on. It's limited by the OS that it runs on. Right now, the popular modes are iOS and Android. Google is taking Android and they're saying we're going to make Android the platform that is AI friendly. Right now, iOS is so walled off and so closed to development that they're missing the window on the ability to add AI functionality and AI capabilities. I've seen degradation in Apple's software and Apple's products um, over the last several years. Like you just start using it more and more, and you're just like, this is just so messy. There's so much like messiness here. I still love Mac. I think Mac is a great computer. Like I'm a Mac guy, but I'm really starting to lose faith in Apple and their ability to innovate and keep up. So I think that the big AI players, XAI, Meta, and Google are well. Google already has phones and they have Android, but I think you're going to see XAI and Meta launch phones, and maybe
Really?
OpenAI as well. Um,
Wow. Interesting.
OpenAI, I'm more convinced is just going to launch a hardware product in general, not necessarily a phone. And this kind of ties into my last topic, which is not my last topic, but the last part of this topic, which is that I think the Meta Ray-Bans are going to be huge, and I think OpenAI will probably follow suit with a similar hardware product. Here's the question, Al. AI models might get insanely smart. They will. Again, if the curve continues, they're going to continue getting really, really smart. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
So ultimately the question becomes, well, how do you like leverage that smartness, the intelligence of the AI in front of you? Well, you have to write a really good prompt. But if you can't write a great prompt, by the way, people are not going to get exponentially better at creating prompts for AI and typing out better prompts and becoming better at asking questions. We're limited by our biological hardware, which is not going to change. So the only thing that will change is context awareness. How does the ChatGPT prompt become more context aware? Well, I'll tell you how. More data, more sensory inputs. Basically, we have eyes, we have ears, we have smell, we have taste, we have touch. These are our senses. These are our sensory inputs. So the sensory inputs to an AI model right now that maybe there's going to be something that we can like digitize smells and we can digitize tastes and touch. We haven't figured that out yet, but we have been able to digitize optics, so pictures and audio. So what are the Meta Ray-Bans? They literally have a camera right next to your eyes, and they have microphones and they have speakers next to your ears. So
Mm,
what that means is Meta AI will be able to see what you see and hear what you hear and also take feedback or input from you like verbally as well. So
mm-hmm.
basically, it's going to have all of the same context that you have as a user. So you can wear your Meta Ray-Bans at your computer typing. And if you just have a question pops into your head, you can just blurt it out to the Meta Ray-Bans and boom. Now it has all the same context as you, but it's a super genius that will give you exactly the right answer to your question. It can even prompt you and message, put push notifications on your desktop in front of you. So
Yeah.
I think
Dude, I want the
OpenAI is
Meta.
realizing that's the next step as well. OpenAI is going to launch a hardware product just like the Meta Ray Bans.
Dude, I'm excited for that because I've always wanted to do like PO. I've always wanted to film my vision. I've always wanted like contacts with a camera in there. So if anyone knows about that, or if I'm just too lazy to like do a couple Google searches, then cool. But let me know, because I think the day when we can like pretty very seamlessly record like what we're seeing and experiencing, and then now interact with AI through that is going to be awesome. I'm here for it. So
That's what I'm sure that's what Zuck's
yeah,
calculus was. He's
yeah.
like, well, the inputs to AI is the only two we have right now are audio and visual. And so just slap on some glasses and now you have audio and visual, feed that into an AI, and the AI is just going to keep getting smarter. Boom, you have that. So
Yeah.
I think that's the answer, man. I think that's what's going
Yeah.
to happen. I think OpenAI is going to follow suit, maybe even XAI. I think XAI would be more likely to launch a phone than a hardware product like glasses, but